Chris Hensley is a registered representative of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member of FINRA SIPC, investment advisor representative of Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Houston First Financial Group are not affiliated.
The Houston Midtown chapter of the Society for Financial Awareness presents Money Matters with your host, Christopher Hensley.
Good morning, everybody. You're listening to Money Matters on KPFT Houston. I'm Chris Hensley. The time is now 11 a.m. Got a great show lined up for you today. We have with us in the studio live Bennette Davis. She is the president of the Houston Metropolitan Chapter of the Continental Societies, and she is going to be talking to us. She's also a Houston Money Week partner. She will be talking about a Houston Money Week event that we have coming up very soon called Art and Sound. So please stay tuned. Keep listening. If you are a long-time listener, you know we always reserve just the first few moments of the show to tell you a little bit about what's going on in the Gulf Coast region and in the Houston area when it comes to financial literacy. So, boy, okay, so we are smack dab in the middle of, or not in the middle, but right at the beginning of Houston Money Week. Now, when I say that, we're at the end of March. Houston Money Week takes place last little bit of March up until April 6th. But when I say that, it actually goes all the way through the end of April. When we started this 11 years ago, it was just 1 week long, but we now have many organizations, over I think it's like 200 different organizations that are nonprofit, for-profit, city government, high schools, colleges, elementary schools that are participating in Houston Money Week. So even though we say Houston Money Week, it's actually a lot of the events go all throughout April. And I'm a little tired. Got up this morning and did a show called Blessed Beats, and they actually invited us on this morning to talk about Houston Money Week. So it's a little bit different. I've been doing this show for about 4 years, over a couple hundred episodes of the podcast, and I don't want to say nervous. I never say nervous, but anytime you go somewhere and it's outside of your comfort zone, there's an energy there, a different energy, and so if you don't have that energy, you're not alert. So that's good. But I love going on the show and being on the other side of the mic because I kind of get to see, what is their format? How are they doing things? They were streaming some of this stuff on Facebook Live, which was kind of neat. I think we have the ability to do that here at the station, but I don't even I don't know. So it's neat to see that. So that was actually at 7:30 this morning, and the Houston Urban League was on as well, and so we talked about Houston Money Week. So you will be hearing a little bit more of that. And then on Sunday, I've been invited onto Magic 102 Sunday morning to talk about Houston Money Week as well. So a couple different interviews for me, which I'm used to being on the other side of the mic. So something different. So here we are, Houston Money Week. We start this for the leadership team. We actually start October of 2018 for April of 2019. So when we start building up to it, it's kind of like if you plan a party or you have a wedding that's coming up, and it looks like it's going to be very, very far away, and you get all excited and you get everything together, and before you know it, it's here. Well, that is what this week is. We are here right at the beginning of Houston Money Week. We had the partner kickoff luncheon yesterday that went really, really well. And so that is what we will be talking about. I want to tell you about the different events that are going on. We will be focusing with Bennette on the Art and Sound event, but there are many different events. So it's easy. The easiest way to do this is to send you to the website, which is www.houston.com. moneyweek.org. If you don't know what Houston Money Week is, we are a community-wide financial education initiative that empowers families and individuals to be successful in making financial choices. So we are all about financial education workshops, and all of these seminars, workshops are free and open to the public. So if there's something that you're interested in, you can go to the website, put your zip code in, and it will actually show you an event that's near to you. But let's say that we're close to tax time and you want to get some help with tax preparation. Well, we have a lot of our nonprofit groups that are participating in the VITA program, and so that means that they will actually prepare for low to moderate income. Under a certain income level, they will prepare your taxes for free, so there will be no cost to that. But that is just one small aspect of what's going on during Houston Money Week. So I encourage you to go to that website, look at all of the different events that we have going on, and I'll talk about a few more of them as we go in the show. But Bennette is right here looking at me, so I'm going to turn your mic on right now so that I'm under out of the spotlight.
Thank you.
And Bennette, thank you for coming back to the show.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's exciting to be here.
Absolutely. So for listeners, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then maybe tell us a little bit about the organization as well.
Of course. As Chris mentioned, my name is Bennette Davis, and I am the president of the Houston Metropolitan Chapter of Continental Societies. This is my second year as president, which is really pretty exciting. And we have programs that focus in health, education, employment, recreation, and, of course, the arts and humanities. And all of these programs are focused on children. How can we help children to experience different things that they may not experience on a regular basis? So I am a charter member of Houston Metropolitan Chapter. Our organization was chartered in 2004, so we've been in Houston for a little while.
So that's now, when you came last time, so it's right about this time. I think it was actually April, but it was right about this time, and we were talking about the same event, and that had been the first year that Art and Sound, not that Art and Sound had been there, but that was the first Houston Money Week representation.
That is correct. Yes.
So I'm teasing here because we're gonna talk about Art and Sound, but I want to still talk a little bit about the Houston Metropolitan Chapter of the Continental Societies, because the organization does so much.
Yes.
When you were on last time, you talked about some of the health stuff that's out there, and then you mentioned employment this time as well. Tell me a little bit about that. What are you guys doing for an employment?
Well, under our employment program, we just had a program. It was in February, and we partnered with Houston Community College, and we have a program. It's called Financial Literacy Summit. Really great program that we offer to these high school students with Upward Bound. Now, in Upward Bound, the whole thing is preparing them for that next stage right out of high school. What are you going to do? So our financial literacy program really focuses on helping them to understand what's the next step. The things that I plan today is going to affect how I'm going to live tomorrow, financially, educationally, employment-wise. So we really try and help them make some really good decisions based on decision making. What am I going to do? Am I going to college? Am I going to get a trade? What's going to be my next step? And this program actually focuses on that, and we set it in a game format so that they can have a really good life experience. And this year we actually added something different. We added mentors.
Oh, nice.
So at each one of the round tables, kids were able to interact with, we had a physician there, a pediatrician there, we had folks from oil and gas, we had accountants at the tables. So they were actually able to get some insight. What was your job? Why did you choose that major? Why, what major did you choose in order to go into that field? So giving them someone that's already lived through it, these are some of the choices I made, and this is what I'm reaping from it. So really trying to get that mindset in there.
I love that. I've seen some of these different kind of real life games, simulations, and I think that's such a good way to teach, because a lot of times you'll go out and it'll be the seminar format where it's more like a lecture, and there's not an emphasis on the next steps. And so you guys are talking about the next steps. That's really the purpose of doing this.
Exactly.
And then also having people who have that real life experience, whether it's a physician or somebody in the oil and gas or accounting or whatever the field is, so that they can actually mentor and see what's going on with that. So that's the employment piece. And then I know last year you had done stuff with healthcare. Did y'all have much stuff going on this year as well?
Yes, we actually have a program the day following our Art and Sound program, and we're partnering with World Youth Foundation. The founder, Karen Franklin, amazing lady. We're partnering with her organization, and we're doing a healthy eating project. We have a professional chef that's going to come in.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. A professional chef that's going to come in, and he's going to prepare some healthy cooking items for them, give the kids some demonstrations, and we're going to have some of the older children actually participate in helping him to prepare some of the foods that they're going to eat that afternoon.
So I love that. What is the age group of the kids?
With World Youth Foundation, they go from kindergarten all the way to high school.
Wow.
So
okay.
World Youth Foundation really tries to capture them very young to get them engaged, and as well as have some of the older kids to mentor some of the younger kids. So it's a wonderful program that we partner with.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, my son is 8, and I realize a lot. We do a lot of stuff if you think about it, when we were younger, you can turn on a microwave.
Yes.
You can cut an apple, not with a too sharp knife, but and so bringing them into this process of helping prepare the food
Yes.
and making sure that it's healthy and what they're bringing in their bodies is good stuff.
Exactly. And we also have another component to that. We're doing healthy eating and healthy mind. So I have another gentleman that I have coming in to actually do some yoga for
nice.
the kids. So it's
Wow.
healthy eating and healthy mind. So, you want the full component of being healthy.
Best of both worlds.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, so that's great. So that's the health care part.
Mm-hmm.
There's the employment part, and then now we can talk about it. So there's also a huge component, which is
Yes.
art,
Yes.
art and culture. Tell us about that.
Art and sound. And as you mentioned before, we actually added another component, which is our partnership with the Houston Money Week, and that is the Art of Savings contest. Great program, and we are very pleased and very happy to partner again with Houston Money Week. And Art and Sound was actually created 4 years ago, and the focus was to really bring out and highlight a lot of high school students. Houston has an amazing group of artists out there, especially in high school. Every year I get more and more enamored by the talents that we have just here in our city, and our focus was just to really focus on them, highlight them, and let them present their artwork in a professional gallery.
Wow. So it's not only being able to participate in this contest, but the end result is that they get to show their work in a gallery.
Correct. Show their work in a gallery, and their pieces are auctioned off.
Wow.
Yes. So whatever dollar amount their piece is auctioned off at, they get that full amount. That is their work. That is their labor. So that is the money that goes directly to the students.
Wow. Are there any restrictions as to what they use it for, or are they open to use it to, can they use it?
It's their sale.
Nice.
It's their money, so there's no restrictions. It's not a scholarship of any sort. It is just monetary monies that go directly to the students.
That's awesome. So I know a lot of the scholarships that people will get, they're limited as to
Yes.
what you can use. You say, you get this, but it actually can only be applied to tuition, or if you think about books and dormitory, all that stuff, they're extra expense. So this is unlimited if you're talented enough to get to this position where you've actually won. They're showing your work. Wow, there are adults that don't even show their work in a gallery.
Correct.
So having that ability to be able to show it, and then the end result is it gets auctioned off, and they get to keep the money and use it for whatever they want.
Use it for whatever they want. And that is the Art and Sound portion is just our high school students. Now the Art of Savings contest, that is where Houston Money Week comes in, and that actually engages kindergarten through 12th grade, and we have it sectioned off. Of course, a kindergartner's work is not going to go up against a 12th grader's work, but it's K through 2, then 3 to 5, 6 to 8, and 9 through 12. So those are the sections that are actually judged. So in each one of those areas, we have 2 professional judges, and we have a teacher and one of our Continental sisters that comes in, and they do the judging of the Art of Savings contest. And there are 3 winners in each one of those categories, and there's monetary prizes for that as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, last year, I think when you came in, we were right at the end of the contest. Is it still open, or have we missed the deadline?
No, actually, with the Art of Savings, especially for middle school and elementary, I still have a little room. So
nice.
if we have some teachers out there or some art teachers out there that still, have some young kids that want to participate, we have the matrix. I can send it to them, and they can get those pieces in to me, long as it's in by April the 8th.
I was going to ask the hard deadline there. So if you are listening, get those entries in before April 8th.
Correct.
And they have the opportunity to participate in this. It's such a great event. Now, where is this being held at?
It is going to be at Winter Street Galleries.
Mm-hmm,
yes. Mm-hmm. And so, wonderful gallery. I'm pretty sure a lot of folks have been to it. And it is going to be April the 12th. From 6:30 to 9:30. There is going to be a cutoff for the auction. The auction is usually over at around 8:30, so that we can actually cash folks out that have purchased pieces or won the bids on specific pieces.
So tell us a little bit about Houston Money Week was lucky enough to partner with this, but this event was going on prior to that. Mm-hmm. What was kind of the inspiration to get this started?
The inspiration was actually my daughter. She's a young artist. Well, she's a college graduate now, but she's a young artist, and her teacher was at KIPP High School at that time, Rebecca T. Amazing art teacher. She's been teaching for well over 20 years, but she has an ability to bring out the creativity in students that just really inspires them to make themselves better artists, better students. And that's what you want a teacher to do. And so she used to have these galleries, but it was just for her students and a few other KIPP teachers. One year I wanted to help out, and I said, I want to do a gallery myself. And it's so much work that goes into it. She just told me, have at it.
It's like, you just found a job.
She told me to have at it, and she was very instrumental in helping me to get other art teachers involved and other art pieces into the gallery, because prior to that it had only been KIPP Houston High School and some other schools. So once we start getting other high schools involved, it just blossomed, and every year it gets bigger and better, and we get more people to come, and more word gets out about the program, and it's just a very inspirational program.
That's awesome. So I love this time because we were right at the deadline, and I think it was the event was taking place the next day.
Exactly. Very close.
Now we have time. We know when it starts. It's going to be April 12th.
April the 12th, yes. That's a Friday evening.
Friday evening from 6:30 to 9:30, and you've got plenty of time.
Yes, plenty of time
to prepare for that. So I'm gonna pivot for a moment and talk a little bit about Houston Money Week, because I want to ask you about your experience with Houston Money Week. But since we are right here at the very beginning of Houston Money Week, I want to encourage people to go out to the website. That's www.houstonmoneyweek.org. We have many events, and I'm always partial to our signature events. Those are kind of my favorite ones, but those are the ones that are tried and true. We've had them every single year. Separate from that, we also have what are called quadrant events, and so the many different partners that we have that are participating in Houston Money Week break up into groups. The groups are divided up by quadrants in the city, and we don't really tell you what you need to do. You come up with an idea, which is really neat, because each of the groups act autonomously, and they come up with their own ideas as far as financial literacy and what to do. So this year we've got Keep Calm, Don't Tax Out. This is going to be at Junior Achievement in Biztown off of Tacoma. This is going to be Saturday, March 30th, 9:30 to 1. So that is actually tomorrow. We've got Money Match, Business Edition. So this is dealing with small businesses. This is Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019 at the Baker Ripley East Aldine campus. That's the newer campus that they have had built. Smart Family, Smart Money. That is April 6th. That's going to be out in Fort Bend ISD at the Marshall High School. And then Health is Wealth, Saturday, April 6th, 2019, 9 a.m. to noon. And that is at the SER Jobs off of Telephone Road. So that's the quadrant events. And then we have all of these signature events. I think tomorrow is the International Children's Festival. We have participated in that in the last couple of years here, and so if you're at the Houston's, so you participated as well. I'm going to ask you about that in a second. But if you are going to be out there, please stop by and say hey to Houston Money Week, because we will be there. We also do the Houston Art Car Parade. That's one of my favorite ones because we now own. That's one of the assets of Houston Money Week is a big pink Volkswagen Bug that Ricky, who is on the leadership team, has actually rebuilt from scratch. And then one of my favorite ones is Houston, the 100 Teens. A couple of years ago, we had Magic Johnson come out and speak to a group of 100 teens. Now, I say that not to name drop that we had Magic Johnson there, although that is cool.
Name dropping is fun.
Name dropping's okay, and not to say, hey, he's a great guy. He is a great guy. He went up and over. We asked him there to be a keynote speaker. He actually sponsored one of the teenagers to go to L.A., I believe, and sit with him and with his company.
Wonderful.
And that was he paid for that out of his own pocket. We didn't ask him to do that. But I'm painting a picture here. My wife likes to point out that, now we're on radio, so you can't see this, but I'm on the second tier of a bleacher here, and I come up to about his belt. And so he is super duper tall. So she always likes to point that out to me because we're full picture. He is taller than everybody in here. But yeah, that's one of the memories that's kind of burned into my head when it comes to Houston Money Week. Let's talk about the Children's Festival for a second. Now you've been out to that event before.
That is correct. And we've volunteered before, the Continentals have. And tomorrow we have, I think, 10 ladies from our organization that are going to be out there volunteering again.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's one of the projects. We use that kind of under our umbrella of health, getting out there with the kids. And I don't know where they're going to have us.
Right.
We just show up and we're here to serve. So however they're going to utilize us.
So for people who are outside the Houston area, this is a huge event that we have every year. I know the last couple of years it's really kind of spotty as to what the weather's going to be. I mean, it was a bit hot one year, some years it rains, and I was it's going to be great this year. And this morning it actually rained a little bit. So
just
I was
little.
Knock on wood. Hopefully they'll be covered if it gets rainy there. So let's talk a little bit more about kind of your experience with Houston Money Week. This is your second year?
This is our second year partnering with Houston Money Week. And it's been really good because you really get to focus on how our money is used, letting people understand the importance of money management. That's what this whole program is about, right? Where's your money going? How are you spending it? How are you saving it? How are you investing it? So our experience has been very good, really positive. And we also have, I see you have Vanessa on there.
Yes, that's right.
Comerica is our sponsor. They're our sponsor with this program. So they've been our sponsor for the last couple of years as well. So it's been a wonderful partnership because we get some insight from them as well. What do they want to see? How do they want some of the program to run? So it's been a great partnership.
So I love that because we do have. I mentioned earlier that Houston Money Week. It's an initiative. So there are nonprofits involved. In fact, there's many nonprofits involved, but there's also the banks that are involved, and so they're participating to get some of them are getting CRA credits, Community Reinvestment Act credits. Mm-hmm. Some of them have their own financial literacy program, and this just dovetails to what they're doing there. But I think you mentioned last time that Comerica kind of got it. They understood what you were trying to do.
They do, and a big part of that belongs to Vanessa because Vanessa is she's a Continental as well, but she understands our engagement and our commitment to the kids, the children of Houston and the Houston Metropolitan area. So understanding why we do what we do, and then reinvesting in that is just that warms my heart, and it just really helps us to push our initiative forward.
So Vanessa's ears must be getting red right now.
Oh, of course, I'm pretty sure.
she's been on she is on the leadership team. She's been on the show before, and just awesome.
Yes,
just
yes,
awesome.
yes.
So let's talk a little bit more about the event itself. So
Yes.
I'm going to pivot back. So we talked
That's
a little
fine.
bit. Let's go back there.
This is my baby, so we're good. Yeah, Art and Sound is my baby, so we're good.
So now there's also going to be a band there.
Yes. We actually found the Continentals found this band at the World Youth Foundation's. They had an event. I want to say it was back in September, and the all-girls jazz band.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it's teenage girls. They play jazz. I think it's a quartet of them, and they are amazing. If you go out there and Google them, it's all girls jazz band.
Wow.
They are amazing young women that are out there. That's a part of what we've done. In the past, we've had professional jazz musicians to come in, but of course, with this being Art and Sound, we are an organization all about the children.
Right.
We want to do whatever we can in order to bring that second element in, and we found that with all girls jazz band.
So I'm getting this picture in my head of the jazz band playing.
Yes.
You've got a note here: wine and light bites will be served.
Yes.
It's a gallery, so it sounds like a really good deal.
Yes.
Now,
we want to set the mood for bidding.
Right.
So,
right.
whenever you're going to any auction, it's bid and bid often.
Right. So it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt to have the wine flowing a little bit when they're
just
bidding.
Just a little bit.
But now there's no cost to get into the event.
There is no cost whatsoever. We definitely want people to come out, experience these amazing students, and see exactly what kind of creativity we have here in Houston, and bid often.
So we're not discourage you from bidding, but it's free to get in the event.
Yes.
That's one of the things that being a Houston Money Week event, all of the events that we have, we've got very few rules, but one of the rules is that it cannot be a for-profit, so nobody can make money off of it. It has to be a free, open to the public event, and so that's one of the great things is that we have over 200 different events that are open to the public at no charge. We've even got the VITA, the tax preparation, where for certain people who are under a low, moderate income, they can get their taxes prepared for free. And we're actually talking about this before the April deadline. So I know I was talking to some of the nonprofit partners who do the VITA program yesterday, and I was like, well, how busy have y'all been? And I said, well, with the government shutdown, for some reason people were thinking, well, I shouldn't file my taxes. So a lot of they said that many people kind of put it off, but now that everything's getting back on track, and it's probably people who who put it off as long as they can, but they're saying yes, they are starting to see many people. So it's just kind of a reminder: don't procrastinate. Get in there, finish your taxes, get that knocked out, and for many, if you're doing it during the Houston Money Week, you could go to the VITA program and get that knocked out, and they'll help you for free there. What other things can you tell us in the next 3 minutes? What other things can you tell us about your experience with Houston Money Week this year, since this is the second year that you've been participating?
Yes, this is our second year, correct.
What else can you tell us about that?
We want the art car at our gallery.
Oh, okay. Let me see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, I got an email, so just to plug, everybody's heard that in Houston. Let's see if we can make that happen. But the experience has just been a really good one, and getting the input from the team. Of course, Vanessa Reed with Comerica, she is our liaison, so she's the one that kind of gives us the information that we need in order to move forward. So we want to highlight as many kids as possible and get them into the experience, because these kids right now, they're going to be the ones that are going to be the Houston Money Week runners in the future. So we want to make sure they have that exposure to Houston Money Week and make sure it's a positive one. Many of the kids that we serve or from socioeconomic backgrounds that are below, the poverty level. So we want to make sure that whatever we're offering to them is not going to be of any expense to them. So we want to make sure everything we can do is going to be, at a good cost for the kids.
So right here at the end of the show, just got one more minute left. So I'm going to put a bug in somebody's ear about the art car gallery, having that out, that the theme of the art, the gallery, the art car. Mm-hmm. However, I understand it's on a trailer, so I don't know if we'll be able to make it back from that, but we'll see. No, knock on wood.
Anything's possible.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Money Matters Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, visit us on the web at www.moneymatterspodcast.com. Drop us a line on SpeakPipe on the right-hand corner. It will receive any voicemails, questions, thoughts, concerns that you have about the show. In addition to this, we recently launched a Patreon campaign. Click on the Donate Now tab to hit the tip jar and find out what Patreon's campaign is all about.